Imagine starting your day with clarity, ending it with reflection, and feeling fully present in between. This is the kind of intentional living we're moving toward, together. Welcome to the Mindful Edit podcast, where we explore self-reflective questions, mindful habits, and small daily shifts to help you live with purpose, intention, and connection. I'm your host, Annette Furio, founder of Season Journals, and I'm glad you're here. Hello, and welcome to the Mindful Edit podcast, where we talk about living with intention, practicing mindful habits, and experiencing well-being through journaling and self-reflection. I'm your host, Annette Furio, founder of Season Journals. On today's episode, we are welcoming in spring by exploring the topic of growth, more specifically, the growth mindset. Spring is the perfect time to learn and grow because we get another burst of that New Year excitement, this time with longer daylight hours and more energy. Some people like to think of this as their real start of the year, and I know I'm feeling energized. Spring has become one of my favorite seasons because there is so much visual growth happening in nature all around me, and it is such a gift to see that every day. These moments of transition, though, can sometimes feel uncomfortable because maybe you feel like progress is happening in fits and starts. You're not quite in a flow yet. And that's okay because our goal can be to move forward in the greater scheme of things, not necessarily every single day. I first heard this explained by author Cal Newport. He said, as long as he's making progress over the long term, over the month, every day doesn't have to be perfect or productive. If we zoom out, we look at life maybe seasonally and monthly, we have a better chance of experiencing sustainable success and happiness. Today, I want to ask a couple of questions. First, what is the growth mindset and how can we adopt it in our own lives? And second, how can we welcome positive change with open arms and how can we experience growth this spring? Before we begin, let's start with a few deep breaths to ground ourselves in this moment. Close your eyes if you're able to, and we'll take a deep inhale in for 1, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3, in through your nose, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Last breath in, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. To start us off today, I'd like to offer a few positive affirmations around growth. Feel free to say them aloud or to yourself. With my effort and mindset, I am capable at experiencing positive change. I welcome growth in my life this spring. I am empowered to choose to start anew or continue towards something I have already begun. So let's get started with our first question. What is the growth mindset and how can we adopt it in our own lives? I'd like to share a definition from Carol Dweck, the leading psychologist, author, and researcher who popularized the concept of the growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This is counter to the fixed mindset, where someone might believe that their abilities and intelligence are static traits that cannot be significantly changed. Growth-minded people have the following 4 traits: resilience, confidence, optimism, and curiosity. I want you to try to think of an instance where you had the growth mindset, where you didn't exactly know how to do something, but you took steps to figure it out and learn. Maybe it was something simple like trying a new recipe. Maybe it was doing a DIY project at home. Maybe it was learning a new language, throwing your hat in the ring at work for something you didn't necessarily have that much experience in. Now, think about a time when you had the fixed mindset. Maybe you said something like, "Oh, I'm just not good at that. That is not my area of expertise. I don't know the first thing about that." And it ended there. You didn't take any steps to learn, get more information, or expand your view of what you thought was possible for you. This is the spectrum between the growth and the fixed mindset. One of my friends likes to describe it this way: there are two types of people, the "this is my life" person and "I'll find a way" person. Acceptance versus empowerment. One challenge I have for you is simply to start to notice when you're thinking in the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. It can also be different in different areas of your life. Maybe you're growth minded at work, but in your relationships, you feel like you'll always be a certain way and you can't change. Simply start to take notice. Then, when you have an idea of where you've been holding on to the fixed mindset, you can start to take steps to expand your view of what is possible for you. We can embrace a growth mindset in a few ways. Yes, learning and trying new things is one way, but you can also start to change how you respond to challenges, effort, and setbacks. You can start to see effort as a critical part of the growth process instead of seeing it as a sign of weakness. When something doesn't work, you shift from judgment to curiosity, asking what you can learn or try differently next time. You can start to focus on progress over perfection. Over time, this mindset shows up in how you think, communicate, and keep going. This is exactly what we need to experience growth this spring. Now, how can we actually embrace positive change and experience growth? First, I'd like to encourage you to write a definition of what growth looks like for you in this season. Narrow it down to the area in which you'd like to experience positive change or growth. Is it personal, professional, around your health and well being, self care, finances, spirituality? Ask yourself, where am I and what is it that I'd like to move toward? Then name the change you'd like to see. Make it specific. If you set a goal at the beginning of the year, now is your time to review it. Have you made progress? If not, ask yourself why you experienced friction to make that progress. Was it a lack of time, energy, inspiration, prioritization? Is it still what you want to work on? Reassess and realign your ideas. Maybe something new has come up since then. Go all in on that. Next, give yourself a little pep talk. I've been doing a lot of research on positive self talk, and one of the ways to make more progress on our goals is actually to have a healthy, positive self dialogue. When we talk down to ourselves, we are not as likely to achieve our goals because we fear that self criticism and self judgment. I encourage you to practice positive self talk. Write affirmations in the morning. Write yourself a glowing review. This is one of the exercises in our Everyday Positive workbook and workshop. Positive self talk will help you get excited about whatever you're going for this spring. It builds self trust, self confidence, and helps you reach those goals. Next, start a practice of completing a weekly review. This is something you can do in your journal or planner. Goals and growth fall by the wayside because we wait a month or two or even three before we notice what's been going on in our lives. Incorporating a weekly review ensures we're giving ourselves that feedback loop of information that we need to make better decisions. Information is power. Think of this as our own personal data. Write these three things. Number one, what's working? Number two, what am I learning? And number three, what am I celebrating? We ask these questions on our Everyday Growth Weekly Planner. It gives us permission to celebrate small wins, but you can also write the lessons that you learned. You can take this one step further and ask yourself if there's anything you'd like to change for next week. As we close this week's episode of the Mindful Edit, I'd like to leave you with just a few questions to ponder or journal about. Number one, where in my life can I start moving from thought to action? Number two, where am I experiencing growth already? Number three, am I just getting started, in the messy middle, or celebrating an accomplishment? And number four, how can I embrace the growth mindset in my personal or professional life? Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for making time for yourself and investing in your well-being. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you'd share it with a friend or leave us a comment wherever you listen. I am so excited to hear how you will be growing this spring. Be well.